Hello YouTube, Wilson from Deer here, back at it again with another mushroom video. Today I'm going to be showing you step by step how to spread your grain spawn into your bulk substrate. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for any background sound because my mushroom grow tent is going on right behind me, so bear with me here, and without further ado, let's get on with the video. First things first, I'm going to start this video by saying that I am by no means a genius. I'm not a scientist. I've not been to college for this, but I have done it a time or two, and I have come to figure out the things that work for me, and I figured they'll work for you too as well if you follow. The first step in spreading your inoculated grain spawn into your bulk substrate is actually to try to sterilize your area and keep it as clean as possible. And we're going to do that by using just normal rubbing alcohol and spreading it all over generously, all over our entire work area. After wiping down your work area with your alcohol wipe, the next thing you need to do is also wipe down anything you're going to be working with. In this case, our inoculated grain spawn jar. It's important to wipe down the tops, the sides, and even the bottom of the jar before starting, just to try to reduce the overall contamination that is capable of getting into your bulk bag. After fully wiping down our work area in our grain spawn jar, the next thing we will be turning our attention to is our bulk bags. Now, one important thing to take note of is that I have not taken my bulk bags out of our pressure cooker until it is time to actually use them. And I do this because I don't have any proper filtration equipment or anything of that nature. So I just keep it in here because we know that the inside of this is sterile. So the less time that the bulk bags are open to the air, the less likely it is to get contamination. Another step you can take to try and combat the contamination of your bulk substrate is to wear gloves. Now, these aren't anything special. I just bought them at my local Home Depot in a box of 100. They weren't all that expensive, but they get the job done, and they can really help to, one, keep your hands clean, and two, help to keep whatever's on your hands out of the mushrooms. As soon as your bulk substrate bags have been removed from the pressure cooker, it's important to move as fast and timely as possible. Once you get to this point, you're able to remove the lid off this jar, and I'm going to put about half jar of this into this bag of bulk substrate. Once you get about half your grain spawn put into your bulk bag, the next thing you need to do is get a paper towel and wipe around the inside of the top of the bag and try to remove all the debris and all of the little water droplets you can. And this is in order to try to get the best seal you can whenever you actually go to seal your bag with your impulse sealer. One step that I failed to mention is that these bags come pre-creased, and before you actually put it into the impulse sealer, it is important to try to keep the folds on the crease as much as possible. And this is it just helps the bag to fully seal, and it just makes the process a lot cleaner and easier to do. One thing that I like to do after actually putting my first line down and sealing the bag is to actually flip it over on its other side and do the exact same thing. Now, I try to hit around the same spot, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you can tell that the bag is fully sealed, it doesn't matter how it looks. Now, when sealing my bags, I actually prefer to put 2 passes here. And each of these passes, I do the front side and the back side. And this might be a little bit extra, but I just feel like it gives me the extra little bit of security and lets me know that my bags will maintain an airtight seal until they're ready to fruit. The next step of this process is to really try to completely disperse and spread the grain spawn throughout this bag. And I do that by just grabbing the bag and shaking it, breaking up any chunks that I see, and just trying my hardest to make sure that the grain spawn gets everywhere. The last and final step of this process is to move your now inoculated bulk substrate bags into your grow tent. Now, right now, there's no growth at all since we just inoculated these bags recently, but in a week to a week and a half, you'll be able to see many mycelium growths spreading throughout the entire bag. And if you wait a little bit longer, it'll become almost fully colonized, such as this bag. Now, once the bag is completely covered in the white mycelium, you are actually able to cut the bag and begin the fruiting process. Now, if you guys have any further questions on anything, such as anything within this process that you want to see more farther in depth, if you want to see my grow tent, if you'd like to see how I got my humidification system going or my filtration system going, just leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to get into that as timely as possible. Thank you, guys.